dog was a major topic for today, which seems to have come up recently within the town, but we'll see how that plays out later. During the month, I spent a lot of time following up with delinquent licenses. I made some in-person visits to some homes that I haven't been able to contact by phone or mail. Spent the good part of the day doing that. There was a dog that was seized that belonged to a homeowner in the town of Rotterdam that we're waiting for a disposition on. Homeowners decided not to collect their dog. We are stuck with the bill at this moment. I don't think they've paid. I don't think they intend to pay. Our sheltering contractor has agreed to waive their fees, so somehow we need to collect those from the Rotterdam homeowner. It's very sad because the dog is older and I'm not sure how adoptable she'll be. But anyhow, I think last month we approved the Montgomery County sheltering contract. Do we have a copy of that?
I don't.
Did you sign the contract and send it?
I thought I signed it. I don't think I sent it. I can look in the office.
Okay. Yeah. I have another copy, but it doesn't have your signature on because they sent two. So I just need one with your signature, but I only have the one.
All right. I'll
Well,
go
if you
through.
look in,
Yeah.
I mean, I have the verbiage. I could make a copy tonight.
Yeah, but that's, I just need the one with my signature on it. I need it
Oh.
for Ag and Market, so they'll looking for a copy of that.
When do you need it?
Sometime next week, the latest.
I'll put it on the things to do list.
Okay, that's it. I got a call from a resident up in the north end of town that had a question, which Carol and Dan and I really couldn't answer. And I don't know if it's something that the board wants to kick around and think about, or maybe it's just something that we didn't see. But the question was, if there was a limit in town as to the number of dogs that a resident could own on the property, separate from a kennel, separate from a breeder, but just personally owning dogs. And we don't really see anything within zoning. There's nothing within the dog law that is really specific to the number of dogs that an owner can have on a property. And the reason this came up is because apparently the neighbor's dogs are barking a lot and continuously. And I think a few of them are also maybe intimidating, but that's a whole other issue. But I think the question is, because there are so many, it just increases the amount of barking that's going on up there.
How many dogs are we talking about?
6 or 7. I know that this particular resident has 5 that are registered or licensed on that property. I think there may be at least 1 or 2 more that they require since that they haven't accounted for.
Department of Health have any thoughts on that?
I haven't talked to public health about that. I mean, there is a remedy within the dog law about barking and nuisance behavior that way, but I just didn't know. I know the town of Rotterdam has something specific within their zoning about the number of dogs, which is 3, and we don't in the city. So I want to add that to your list of things to do. And I know that we had planned on talking about the impoundment fees. We had, Bob has the proposed revisions and the current law as it's written. I don't know if the board will be talking about that tonight or how we're going to proceed. We did have a public hearing on that last year. It was last August or so, I think. We had that already. But that's all I have. Yes.
I thought maybe for everybody to understand, I just got a puppy 2 weeks ago, and you informed me that I don't have to get a license for him until 4 months after he's got all the shots and everything. So that was a surprise to me because I was ready to get the license right away. Just so that everybody in the town understands what.
Fortunately, our website has the information on there. It's on the town clerk's link, and it's also on the dog control link, information about licensing your dog. And that is very
I should
basic.
have checked the website.
It's there.
The website that Tim Bishop has worked so hard on and you haven't looked at it?
Thanks, Joe. Thanks a lot, buddy.
That's part of Ag and Markets, Article 7.
Thanks for setting this straight, Darrell.
No problem, anytime.
So, and I don't wanna go off too much off the course here, but, so when you see in the, on TV that, I guess public health go to people's houses where they've been hoarding animals, how do they get around that law? Or is that
It's more of an Article 26, which is cruelty laws within animal markets. And I'm not sure whether they're responding per public health. I don't know if it was reported to public health or it was reported as a cruelty case. I don't think they're all the same. But I think the ones that you're hearing about more often are related to cruelty, which law enforcement would respond, whether it's SPCA or local law enforcement.
Bob? Oh, sorry. Let me interrupt you again.
I think so.
Bob, man?
Just that we were gonna, I was gonna mention that, you know, there is the existing current dog law, and I was gonna bring it up that I gave everybody a copy tonight to look at and see if there's any possible changes or anything that you would like to bring up at the next agenda meeting.
So, if I could interrupt, so we actually have it on the agenda for any discussion phase of the program tonight?
Oh, I'm not aware of that. I just was speaking to Darla's.
Yeah, so, I've actually got it, yeah, I got it on there that you can leave the discussion for,
Okay.
at the end of the meeting, so.
Okay, yeah.
Dog enforcement policy, Councilman Bob Meyer, fine.
Okay. Well, now I don't have to do it, so I already did it.
No, we're gonna do.
Now we can just people to pay the bill. That'd be great.
Well-
Usually leverage that with, you know, you can't get your dog until you pay the bill. And now they don't want the dog, but they still have to pay the bill.
Are we gonna be getting a bill from,
Not from APF, but according to our
yeah,
laws that we have to require that. So,
So we're gonna highlight the suggestion you made here in the discussion.
okay. Anybody else?
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you.
And just for myself, as far as reports go, so it was actually not, I don't know, busy, but nothing specific to report. Just to back up on that 911 call they had down at the Lighthouse Church, so I got in touch with Mohawk and Schenectady 911. Their reports, I still have to follow back up with the resident. He reported it was a 45 to 50 minute response time from Mohawk. I asked Mohawk to run a report. It showed the response time to be 20 minutes, 22 minutes if you called the actual phone call from Rotterdam Police PSAP. So the initial report looks good. You know, Mohawk responded within 20 minutes. They did come from Glenville. They did make it in 20 minutes. So the only concern I need to follow back up was I think the call came in on a cell phone, which may or may not have added time to the call, because if you pick up on a cell phone, it can be routed anywhere. You go to Syracuse, go big, than compared to a landline, which is a hard wire right to the PSAP. So, I think that's about all the supervisor that I had done this month. So I'll try to be more diligent in having a paper copy of the supervisor activities for the month. So with that, let's move on to new business. So we actually talked a little bit with Carol very briefly this afternoon, but this next resolution that I'm suggesting the town board adopt is that what I'm asking the town board, and not only the town board, but I'll ask the department heads plus the staff, because we've got all kinds of roles. It tends to roll together here, it's a big process. But what I'm asking Carol and her team to do is to have the vouchers ready at the end, close of business, the Thursday before the Tuesday regular town board meeting. That gives us, the town board, time to come in, view the vouchers, you know, approve them, ask questions, whatever it takes. What I need to do is work out with Carol and Isla and probably the department heads, is we need to ask the staff to make sure their timesheets are on time, their expenses particularly are on time, giving Carol and her team time to react to processing the voucher. Is that pretty accurate?
Yeah, yeah. I think what we're gonna do is ask, give the bills to each department, and each department's gonna process their own bills, then it comes back into our system. It's probably the best way to do it. But anyway, that's Thursday before, so great for us.
With adding an additional, I guess, shortening the timeframe, in which we, we're looking at bills, would that put us in a situation where we might have to pay bills at both meetings in the month to make sure we don't miss a month of paying something, or?
I don't think so. Mike had mentioned we'll have a one month where we might have some late bills, but then it'll be back in cycle again.
So we don't miss
So I don't-
anything by cutting it short,
I
that
don't
needs to be due at the
think
end of
so.
that month, or anything like that?
The utilities,
Still fall into the 4-week cycle once we get going.
yeah, and they can be paid, if something is due and there's not a town board meeting, they can be paid before and then vouchered at the next meeting. So I think, for the most part, that's covered.
So my suggestion would be, I mean, if something pops up between now and the agenda meeting, that's pretty urgent, we can open up the agenda meeting, do a resolution on a voucher or two. But by then, you know, after a month or 2 months, we should fall into a cycle.
Yeah.
So that's my, or our suggested resolution, so I'll read it out loud here. So the town board resolves that all vouchers, claims, and fund transfers be ready for final review by the town board members at the close of business the Thursday before the regularly scheduled Tuesday town board meeting. All vouchers, claims, and fund transfers will use a new tracking spreadsheet. This spreadsheet will be attached to the agenda for the public to review. So just for the public, now if this is Joe's draft copy, actually I don't have a copy of it, but we can modify it, probably something like this, Carol, but I think we just really want to put it, you have a copy of it? Yeah, it's right there.
Well, wait a minute, Joe's gonna do that, right? We do our own best,
No,
we'll
no.
continue to do what we're doing.
Oh, no? Oh, okay.
Well, what I'm suggesting is, and we can take it offline, but just taking this and actually adding one more column to the right and saying, and just putting comments in there. So this really by expand by almost just one more column saying it's comments. Obviously National Grid's a pretty self-explanatory bill, but if we get the Kelly Construction, for example, or the lawyer bills, it'll put some detail there of why and what the bill was. And then we attach it to the back of the agenda. So my thought was when the agenda, for example, on this one, claims 98 through 124, well, that may be good for the council, but it doesn't help the audience at all. The audience is going, I don't know what 98 through 124 for $41,000 means. So that's all.
We'll have to call Bass and see if there can be another one, because this is a program, so I don't know if we can add another column. But, I mean, we're not gonna take it upon ourselves to do a comment. If someone wants to comment, let's say it's highway, Nick will have to give us the comment. Or if it's George for water, and he wants to explain something, he can say it's for whatever the parts are or something like that. I mean, I don't think, we shouldn't be commenting on that. And actually, Joe, there's a resolution that Joe wanted to do this anyway. I mean, I get the spreadsheet thing, that's fine, but,
No, it's only, like, I question, like, what do you call that company that we give in addition to National Grid? It's Entergy or something?
Integris.
You know, it's like, I need a better understanding, and I'm hoping that, you know, citizens of Princetown can, you know, understand all this as well. And that's what we mean by comments, only, just to kind of expand a little
the
bit.
departments can give us their comments and we can add in, because it's not for us to do.
Yeah.
We just vouch it.
Well,
So, I mean, that can be worked out.
yeah.
Now, whether or not it can add a column, we'll have to call Bass. I don't know.
Bass?
BAS is the program that uses for vouchering and, because then you can track, we can go back to 2007 and find out what we paid Integris in February. So it's a tracking system and everything, it works really well.
I mean, that shouldn't be a big deal to add one column.
I don't know, it's not my call, I have to call BAS.
Yeah, well, right.
And I guess the second part of that is you gotta figure out the process for which you're gonna get the information on each individual voucher from the department heads. I mean, I would say most of our bills are recurring with some exceptions, whether it's, water stuff that pops up, and those kinds of things, but most of our bills are, recurring bills that probably have been recurring for quite some time.
Like after Integris, if you want to comment that it's a something, you can just put it in there and it will just reiterate it every month,
Yeah. And on something like that, I think that's an adequate explanation.
But if you want more comment about something specific, whoever puts that bill in, I mean, we can put it down, whatever they say,
Yeah,
but.
okay.
So how, if this is printed out by BAS, could we just run off 20 copies along with the agendas and staple it right to the agendas?
If that's what you want, you can do that.
That would just about answer all the questions.
Yep.
We would have to do, if they, again, if the citizen wanted a little more explanation of what this specific bill was for example, Wells Communication, then, we could ask.
They could direct very specifically what the question was.
And then the bill is right there, they can actually look at the bill. So, yeah.
I stand ready to give whatever assistance I can make on this.
No, that's fine. I mean, this is something we do all the time, but, the comment thing is going to be, I don't know.
So do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
So are we gonna amend the wording of this thing, to reflect whatever you all just talked about with this spreadsheet?
Oh, right. It says use the new tracking spreadsheet.
Is there,
What's the attitude? The spreadsheet.
Or you just say copy the abstract.
yeah, that's what, so it's the abstract form that we call it.
And see, transfers wouldn't be on there because transfers are on here. So we'd be
What I want to do is, again,
adding all different things together that don't fit together.
what I wanted to attach was, like this one.
Sure, attach that, but, yeah. But it just looked like you're doing, I don't know. So abstracts, all abstracts, so that would be water, highway, and general.
So all abstracts and transfers will be attached to monthly town board agendas.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, we're not doing that.
That's what he wants to
Are we doing that?
Of course, this information is exactly reiterated in here, so you're duplicating, but you can do
This is
whatever.
already on the agenda.
So it's exactly,
Well, the reason it's not in the agenda is because I actually hand typed it in the agenda.
but that is always how we do it, whatever I will put on here,
Transfer
so,
was quickly on the agenda, and they usually say
yeah.
from wherever to wherever. I don't know that historically it gives a reason.
I asked Alex to put that in.
I just don't recall that off the top of my head. That's something
Never had anyone ask about it,
to add, I guess.
but you could add it when you do the agenda,
Yeah, well,
or attach it, whatever, it doesn't matter.
I mean, actually may make it easier to work the agendas, because then all you have to do is put in the claim number or transfer number and say see attached.
Yeah. And this is just for, I mean, we're not gonna attach this to official meeting minutes when they're done, because it's the only thing you're supposed to attach is laws that are very lengthy and you don't wanna put in the body. I mean, I would attach anything before the people said, you know, give me a letter or whatever, I'd attach it, and they said, what you do should be in here or reference, but not attached.
Who's they?
Yeah.
New York State Town Clerks Association.
Okay.
So they don't want to
I
attach
class, I
the
took another
abstract?
class, yet another.
So they don't want to attach abstracts?
Because your abstract is kept elsewhere,
I
you know,
understand,
and so you referenced in here and you know where to get your abstract, so it's, you're just, all this is being duplicated. But you want it for the residents, so they can see when they come to a meeting.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Which
this
is-
is part of the new obligations under the
Yeah,
law officers.
right, so that's understandable. But it wouldn't be attached to the official,
So the meeting minutes,
to the meeting minutes.
it would be attached to the agenda